It's the Zillis and Triller Sports Show in upstate New York, hosted by your boy Gil.
It's your girl Brittany B.
Your boy King Cater. What's up, y'all?
And it's another crazy week in sports, man. First of all, shout out our boy Desmond Green for letting us interview him.
Shout out to
Yes.
Des.
Great interview. He's showing the city so much love right now. For that, bro, we thank you. But we're going to get right into it. And, you know, a lot of our viewers had a lot of stuff to talk about. They had a lot to say.
Okay.
Starting with the elimination of the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
Not even Game 7. You ain't go to Game
Not
7.
even in Game 7. They lost Game 6 on their own court.
Wow.
How you losing on your own court? But really what we want to know, and this is one thing we really want to know, is who's to blame? Who is to blame? And I'm going to start with this one. You know what I mean? I'm going to start with this one real quick because it's a lot of people we can point at. It's a lot of people we can point at. We can talk about Chris Paul.
Yeah.
We can talk about D'Antoni. But I'm going to give it to the reigning, defending MVP, James Harden.
Okay.
James
Now,
Harden?
why might I ask for James? I'm gonna just ask you all a couple quick questions. Agree with me if you can. Viewers, let us know. Give us some comments. Let us know what you think. But is it true, James Harden, the last 4 seasons have had 4 MVP caliber seasons? Is that true?
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
that's a fact.
2015-16 season, right?
Yeah.
16-17 season?
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
17-18 and 18-19, right?
Yeah.
4 consistent MVPs.
Average
Always-
30, almost 38
Well,
this year?
To be
36.
honest, he averaged 36 this year.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But what is it about James Harden that's so apparent from his early days in OKC to now in Houston? He folds in the playoffs. He folds.
Yeah.
He folds. How does he fold? I'm going to give you an example. 2015-16, right? MVP season. Average 29, 7 assists. A problem. In the postseason, 26 and 7.
Yeah.
2016-17, 29 and 11. Mean double-double.
In the
This
regular
without,
season?
Without Chris Paul. Regular season. Playoffs, 28 and 8.
That's still good.
17, it's great, but did he get to the post? Did he get to the next round? He lost. Didn't make a finals. Didn't see a finals. Now let's go into this season. 36 and 7, right?
36
In the
and 7.
playoffs, 31 and 6. It's always a steady decline when it comes to James Harden, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
To be honest, shooting 44% average in those 4 MVP seasons. In the playoffs, 41%.
Damn.
From 3, what is it? 35%.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, 29.
Woo!
You the playmaker, you the shot maker. Not only does he decline in points, not only does he decline in efficiency, not only does he decline in assists, he declines. And I'm here to tell you, James Harden is the problem, and James Harden needs to not go, but he needs to fold. And they need to find somebody else. We're going to talk about that a little later. But, okay, who you got, man? King Cater, who you got? Who's to blame?
Yo, I ain't going to put it on James Harden because he do what he can. I ain't going to put it on Chris Paul because this year Chris Paul wasn't injured. You know what I mean? He did what he can in the playoffs. I'm going to go to the head honcho of the team. I'm gonna put this loss on D'Antoni.
D'Antoni?
And it's not that Houston collapsed. It's not how they lost. I mean, it's not that they lost. It's how they lost. And that's why I put it on D'Antoni because the only odds that was against them is that it was 3 All-Stars on the floor on
Yeah.
Golden State. That was really the only.
Yeah.
That was really.
They
and
got
then,
2 they own though.
That's what I'm saying. 2 against 3. Without KD, without Cousins, is no more excuses.
2015, 2016, KD wasn't on that team.
But still, it's no more excuses.
KD wasn't on that team, if I'm not mistaken.
It's no. The year before that, what it was, Chris Paul with no CP3.
Yeah.
The year before that, what it was, missed 27 threes.
That was
That's
last
last
That
year.
was I mixed it up,
But
but
still,
yeah,
I
no more
understand.
excuses. This year, no KD, no Cousins.
So it's the system.
It's the system. Despite the fact that Harden's declining, despite the fact that CP3, he really hasn't had that much experience past the first round, not even in the playoff experience, period. You got to go to the blame of, you got to start with the system. The system, shooting threes, come on, bro. Shooting all type of threes, no defense.
Yeah.
Curry only had 0 points. He's only had 0 points in the first half.
Had a dub.
Coming back, the
don't know.
33 straight points on the game-winning shot, bro. You can't give it to the players. You got to give it to the coach, man. And with that being said, D'Antoni must be fired.
Fire. Wow.
Bold statement. Brittany B.
Well, I believe that it's a collective of things. I'm going to start with James Harden. I'm not going to say that James Harden is bad in the playoffs, but James Harden is terrible in elimination games, okay? For the last, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His last 8, he has 8 elimination games, all in Houston.
Right.
He's lost 7 of those 8, and his efficiency is terrible. 2 for 11 one year,
Terrible.
7 for 20 one year,
Terrible.
8 for 15, 7 for 22 in his last game. I don't know. He doesn't impose his will the way he should in big moments. Like last year they lost. No, 2 years ago they lost to Spurs team without Kawhi Leonard, without their best player. In an elimination game, he let Manu Ginobili block his shot.
That's a
Down
fact.
defense.
Okay.
That's
For the
a
last
fact.
then
Old
last
ass
year,
Manu.
last year
Think he retired after that.
Last year, Chris Paul got hurt, but I'm saying one of them games was at home. You had 2 games. You could have got 1. And then this year, I'm not going to say that he disappeared because he didn't disappear because his Game 7 numbers are actually,
30.
Game 6
Yeah,
numbers are
30,
really
yeah.
good. But in the fourth quarter, he let Steph Curry do what he was supposed to be doing. That was supposed to be James Harden in the fourth. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a Game 7. If they would have lost in a Game 7 then at Oracle, then you lost a Game 7 at Oracle, But you lost at home.
But it all boils down to is no excuses for
But,
the Houston Rockets.
yeah,
There's no
and
excuses. They was without
D'Antoni.
KD, who was killing the whole series.
Chris Paul, I feel like if Chris Paul would have had a couple better games earlier on in the series, then they wouldn't have gone down 2-0. They could have maybe got 1-1 and then went home and won those 2 games. They could have been up 3-1.
That's true.
And Mike D'Antoni's system, it ain't never worked. It never worked. It ain't work for the Suns. It ain't work for the Lakers. It ain't work for the Knicks.
It ain't work.
It gets them to the Western Conference Finals.
Because he focused on just
Offense.
offense. He
They
just
need-
focused on offense.
He needs a defensive coordinator, like
Right.
as a football term.
Exactly.
He need to hire Tibbs or something.
Right, that'd be a great move.
Yeah.
So going into that would be a great move. But one thing Houston can do to make it better. What's the next moves for them, in your opinion?
They need a third option, a real third option. I like PJ Tucker. I like Austin Rivers. I like all of them, but they need a real third. They need to try to get Jimmy Butler. I don't know how much money they got though, because they
that'd
pay
be
a lot of
nice
money.
on
But they
defense.
need a
Nice
third,
defender.
a real third option, and a good defender.
Kato, what
I already said it, man. They need to fire the head coach, man.
Right,
Get
fire
rid of him.
D'Antoni?
He
Who you
need to
trying
get
to
up
bring
out
in,
of there.
Mark?
Get him up out of there.
Get him up out of that. I mean,
Bring in Mark Jackson to beat his old Warriors.
Mhm.
he'll definitely get that defense.
Yeah,
installed easy.
That'd be
Yeah.
fire. I
But
mean,
to be honest, in my opinion, what they really need to do, and this might be a little, off wall.
before you say what you about to say, please don't say trade James Harden.
No,
Oh,
trade
okay.
Chris Paul.
I can see that.
I'm gonna tell you that right
I can
now.
see that he's older. He's declining.
Yeah.
And who can we trade him for? Who could they trade him for? I think Ben Simmons would be great.
Ben Simmons.
You know,
Okay.
it
But I don't know
allows
if Philly
James
don't want-
Harden to focus on those shots. You ain't gotta have the ball in your hand so much. He could space the floor for Ben Simmons, and it would be great for Joel Embiid.
Well,
as
he
a
can't
veteran
space the
point
floor.
guard.
Ben Simmons gets
James Harden
Oh.
can space the floor.
That's
I
for
mean,
Ben
he
Simmons.
don't really he don't shoot.
Give him
so
so
I mean,
much
But
space.
with that
Could've been-
system,
He
Ben
don't-
Simmons won't work unless
Yeah,
they fire the
'cause-
coach.
well,
Ben Simmons
don't
don't shoot
shoot.
threes.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
He got shooters, and his passing is above.
Yeah.
That's
average.
what Chris
It'll
Paul
be
do,
great.
but you see who the
Chris
majority of
Paul's
the
a little
points come
older.
from, though.
I feel like
Chris
Paul-
Paul shoots
I think I
threes.
would
With the
say
ball
like a Ricky
handling.
Rubio. He's a free agent
Rubio,
this year.
damn sure
Like a
can't shoot,
Ricky.
but you gotta talk about
You gotta-
defense.
I mean, he shoot better than Ben Simmons.
but Ben
Way better.
great
I
passing,
don't think Philly.
excellent passing.
I don't
They-
think
they
Philly
won't
is
do that.
gonna. They're not. I mean, they're not gonna. They don't want Chris Paul. Philly don't want
I
Chris
think
Paul.
he would work great with Joel Embiid, but I think he would work great for Joel Embiid. But like you said, at the end of the day, the Houston Rockets lost,
No
and
excuses.
and it brought us to this point right here: the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
What a great finals!
Yo, yeah.
Damian Lillard, Steph
Coming
Curry,
off that game 7.
Yeah.
and somebody in our comments made a bold statement and said that the Warriors are gonna beat them in 4.
No. The Warriors
That's a
haven't
sweep.
swept anybody yet this playoffs, so
That's a sweep.
they're not
They
gonna
said
sweep
a
the third
clean
seed.
sweep.
They're not gonna sweep the third seed, just like they didn't sweep.
Without KD,
Clippers,
that's
just
a
like they
sweep.
sweep-
No,
It's a
I don't-
one game, one game overreactions. There's a whole lot of.
What I
Paul
always say,
Pierces.
game ones don't matter.
They don't
But
really
in
matter.
this series, it do. It
They
kind
gotta
of
get
do.
no. They have to get.
It kind of
Portland
do.
has to get this
Definitely
game
does.
tonight.
It does in this
Cannot-
series.
They can't go down 0-2. They
And
got to
it-
get this game tonight.
It's gonna be tough to see, but if anybody, who has the most pressure going into this game? We all got a little taste. We all got a little taste of these Western and Eastern Conference Finals. Now that we game in on each series, so who has the most pressure moving forward?
I'm not gonna put it on one person. I'm not gonna put it on the whole team. I'm gonna put it on 2 players on that Milwaukee. I mean on that Trailblazers team.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I'm gonna put that on Dame Leonard and C.J. McCullough, and the simple reason is that they cannot choke up now.
Nah,
Don't choke up now.
I'm not gonna put it.
Don't choke up now.
CJ.
Don't choke up now. The
Mr.
reason
Clutch.
why I'm saying that is because if you look at Dame's playoff series minus OKC, he got OKC up out of there. He did what he was supposed to do against OKC. When you come to Denver, game 2, 14 points, 5 for 17. That can't happen with Dame.
Terrible.
Game 7. There was no
Game
time. Listen, hear me out.
First half, okay? He played a great second half. He let C.J. McCollum go off. Why not? If your boy is going, if your boy going off, you gotta let him go off.
You can't shoot 17 times and say he let him go off. He shot 17 times.
He shot 11 of them in the first half. That's what I'm trying to say.
He shot 17 times, only made 3. 13 points, game 7. Terrible. Now, game 1 against Golden State brings back to my point. Don't choke up now.
7 turnovers.
Game 1, Golden State, 4 for 12.
Okay.
19 points. C.J. McCullough, 17 points, 7 for 19. Combined shooting 34%.
Okay, let's go like this.
34% with Clay dropping 26, Curry dropping 36.
What is Dame Lillard seeing
bro.
every time he crosses the court? It's soon before he hit half court.
Don't choke up now.
You can't choke when you see a 2 and 3 defenders. Okay, the thing he has to adjust the way that he's playing. He has to play off the ball. They need to start Rodney Hood or Evan Turner. They need to have a 3-guard set.
Deplete their bench completely.
I wouldn't do that. They're only starting 7 people. They're only having rotate 8 people.
Nah,
no,
you can't mess up the rotation right now.
No, you have to.
Rodney Hood has played great in this.
Yeah, I understand that, but you want a third scorer out there. You need somebody to take one of them defenders away from Damian Lillard. You need
Cantor.
Cantor can't do what? What can Cantor really do? They can do good in the pick and roll. He got to come up on Steph Curry.
Guys got to step up. Harkless got to step up.
Yeah,
so
but I would rather have Rodney Hood in my starting lineup, who I know can get me 20. He can get me 20 along with CJ.
Who would you sit?
Who would I sit?
For
Mo
Hood.
Harkless or Aminu.
So your bench, you can't
He's
mess up.
not like he's a good defender. He's a very good defender. So it's not like a good defender. So I'm going with CJ.
Has the most pressure?
Because he's not going to see 2 and 3 people. So CJ's got to make them shots because their mindset is we're going to shut down Damian Lillard. We're going to make CJ beat us. CJ, you got to do what you got to do. CJ got to be better than Clay. If CJ ain't better than Clay, then they don't have a
Dame
chance.
got to be better than Curry.
That's true.
He has to win.
But it's gonna be hard for Dame to be better than Curry because they are they are good. He has to adjust. Oh yeah, I agree, but they have to adjust.
Up there.
And I think they got to play way better defense on Steph Curry. They got to beat Steph Curry up the way Houston did. They got to be physical with Steph Curry. They got to get Steph Curry into foul trouble. They got to make Steph Curry guard, get Steph Curry in foul trouble.
A lot of pressure on Damian.
It's a lot of pressure on their backcourt, but I can't. It's hard to give them pressure because this is their first Western. If you think about it, this is probably the biggest.
That's why I said don't choke up now. Don't choke up
either one of their career.
But
I think they beat Duke. I think C.J. McCollum beat Duke.
So this is.
But other than that, this is like the biggest game of their series.
That's why I'm saying look at the whole playoffs leading up to now. They didn't choke. Don't choke up now.
You can't really call it choking. It's good defense. That's good defense.
34% combined. That's not.
Well,
good.
not CJ.
This segment's running a little short. So before I'm gonna do something a little different. I understand where y'all coming from, and they're the underdog team, so the most pressure be on them. You have to step up. But in my opinion, who really needs to step up? Who's the 2-time unanimous MVP? Never won a Finals MVP. This is your playoffs to shine. You don't win the Finals MVP right now, you might go down there with James Harden as a choker in the playoffs. Let's not forget, outside of these 2 games with Steph Curry, he did not show up.
I'm not gonna say
he did not
choker,
show up,
but he don't really have.
So what I'm gonna say, Steph Curry definitely needs to make. He has the most pressure for him to put his legacy on the line and be a great player.
Okay, I see where you're going with it.
You talking LeBron James? You let Iguodala get Finals MVP. KD got the last 2. So who's really getting you there?
So you saying he has the most pressure up against legacy-wise?
Right now, Steph Curry has the most on the line. Damian Lillard and them lose, who the hell cares? Steph Curry lose, it's a problem. Steph Curry let KD come back and get the Finals MVP, Whose team is this?
I don't
Whose
know.
Alright,
team is
yeah.
this?
I don't
You
know
got a
when
point.
the way
You
they
got a
making it
point,
seem
dude.
like
But
they
before-
said
but
he ain't
before
close
we-
to coming back.
And
Kevin
that's
Durant.
and that's why it's right now.
Yeah.
It's time to shine. But before we go to it, we got about to go on this break. We on theroarradio.com, themainradio.com, Western Conference Finals. Give me your pick before we get to this break.
Oh, I
Who you
can't
got?
pick against my boy. I'm going Portland in 7. I can't pick
Mm.
against him.
And then Western Conference, Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference. Oh yeah, I can't pick against my other boy. I'm going Toronto in 6. Toronto in 6.
Cater?
I ain't gonna front. This is kind of a hard one. That has been in a long shot. I'm going with Warriors in 7. I like Dame them, but I'm just saying Warriors in 7 because you can't count out Steph.
Yeah.
And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't know.
Well, I'm
It's
going-
hard. It's hard.
I don't know.
That game yesterday, man, it
That's
just
tough.
made it even more.
Only
'cause it's
reason
so
why I say
weird.
I don't know because
I'm going-
Toronto has Kawhi, who has nothing but experience. Championship
But he
MVP,
has no team
Finals
around him.
MVP.
He's not no
But he
team.
has
His
no better-
bench. It's his bench,
And
man.
his
It's
matters
that
are going
bench.
against Milwaukee.
But the
That's
Greek
why I'm
Freak,
picking
the Greek
Milwaukee.
Freak has a
That's why
better
I'm picking
team.
That's why I'm
Yeah, they
picking
do have a better
Milwaukee in 6, and I gotta go Warriors in 5. But stay tuned. We're gonna read these comments on Instagram Live. We're gonna be right here on themainradio.com. We got a 5-minute music break. It's lit, y'all. We'll be right back. And we back, man. And this next segment is brought to you by the Rochester Riverside Hotel, and they're throwing a rock sneaker swap on. When is this? It's going to be July 20th, 12 to 5 at the Rochester Riverside Hotel Grand Ballroom.
Pulling
We have
up.
sponsorships available. If you want a booth, anybody have their own business, anybody have their own clothing line, anybody clean sneakers, booths only $150. Any big businesses, we got packages running from $750 and on. We can get you on Fox Sports Radio. We get you on Zeal Talk, and it's a great thing to do. So keep that date in mind. July 20th, 12 to 5, the sneaker show. We got live entertainment. I'm sure King K is going to come through with some live
Oh, yeah.
entertainment. You know, Zeal Talk going to be there. Brittany B is going to be there doing her thing, sipping tea. But we're going to go right into this NBA draft. What a catastrophe that was.
Not for Laker fans.
What a catastrophe that was.
I mean, kind of was too, though. I was hoping they get 1 or 2.
Who?
The Lakers.
Man, they had a 1.7% again in 1 seed. And they got the 4.
It was a very small percent, but we did get a top 5 pick, which is really, really important. We're going to get into that. But really what I want to know is Phoenix, Cleveland, Chicago, all these teams, all these terrible teams tanking. And they end up with, what, the 7th pick?
I don't think we tanked. I think we just sucked.
Y'all was just bad?
Yeah,
Y'all was just bad?
yeah, we was just injured. We ain't tanked.
But all these tanking, what do y'all think this is I know some teams, the Knicks,
The Knicks,
the
yeah.
Cleveland, Phoenix, all tanking. And they end up with some low picks.
Yeah.
What's y'all take on taking right now? Is it over finally? Is the process done?
To me, I don't understand. Tanking, even though it's not my favorite thing, I think when you know your team isn't good enough, you know your team is not going to win games, and your only hope is to go get a player out to draft like the Sixers had to. It took them some years. I think, you should let them tank. Like,
Let the bench players get some time.
let them
Right.
get some time. Like, I don't think tanking is as bad. It's only, 2-3 teams a year out of 30 teams.
Right.
It's only 2 or 3
But
teams.
sometimes these franchises tank year after
Yeah,
year.
and
after year.
look at what it did for Philly, and now
Trust
they
the
back in
process.
trust the process. Now they back in the playoffs. They was 1 game away from the Eastern Conference Finals,
One game away?
1 shot away from the Eastern Conference Finals. Like,
Yeah.
like you can't. I didn't like the draft. I don't think it's fair. You have teams who are just not good, and they deserve, especially
Wasn't it
a
new
draft like this
wasn't the
Great
draft?
draft.
it's
wasn't
not
the
really that good of a
lottery-
draft.
Very
though.
top
Wasn't the
heavy.
lottery?
Yeah.
Wasn't the
Got a
lottery?
generational talent.
Wasn't the lottery different? Different this year?
Yeah.
They did it differently this year.
How they did it?
The top 3 is 14%.
And then they go
opposed to
down.
the regular 16%.
Yeah.
18%, something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
But it was a much more fair, and y'all seen what it came down to. It came down to Memphis Grizzlies.
The
The
Pelicans.
Pelicans getting the number 1 pick.
So
and
David
the
Griffin.
Lakers-
Y'all know how many
Lakers
times he got the
drafted
number 1 pick?
4 times.
He's gotten it. So y'all don't think it's rigged? I don't care what nobody say. The NBA, the lottery is
I think
rigged.
that lucky horseshoe was working for him.
Nah, I think it's rigged. 4 times,
It ain't
1
get 'em-
GM,
It ain't get him.
2 different teams, 1 GM.
It ain't get
I'm
him
just
no
saying.
ring.
It did though.
It did. 2016.
2016. He drafted Kyrie Irving.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
He drafted
Oh,
him
yeah,
and
yeah,
got
yeah.
LeBron to
He-
come back,
he
traded
got-
for Kevin Love. He maneuvered all of that. He did all
Yes,
of that.
all that
He
with a
He
number
gonna
one
be doing
pick.
some
Andrew
maneuvering
Wiggins.
this
Was
year.
that Andrew Wiggins? Andrew
traded
Wiggins. Oh, you
Wiggins,
traded for
exactly.
Andrew
He
Wiggins.
gonna be doing some maneuvering this year then.
Yeah, he gonna have to. And
Oh yeah. I mean, he got Zion.
and we talked about it. We talked about it briefly, but this number one pick going to the New Orleans Pelicans, how does this impact Anthony Davis? To be honest, I would be very, very surprised if Anthony Davis doesn't get traded this season.
Right.
But in the event he does stay, I don't think it'll be that bad of a move.
It wouldn't. It
I
wouldn't.
can't see it happening.
I don't think that'll be that bad of a move.
I can't see it happening.
For the
Only
simple
reason-
fact that you got Zion Williamson,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, a great defender.
Yeah.
Julius, get him out of there.
Get Julius out of there.
Randall that's gonna be a little too clogged up.
Okay.
Go and get Rondo. You're gonna have money for some cap space. You can go get a Kimba. It's possibilities. Not to mention Zion's gonna be there for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
He's not leaving. And I think that they really do have a great shot. Look at Sacramento. Look at these young teams emerging. Except for all of these young teams don't have an Anthony Davis.
I think Anthony Davis.
But
is
what
over
does
it.
all these young teams do have? Young, good rookie guards.
Yeah, they need a guard.
The Pelicans don't have no all-star guard. Drew
That's why I
Holiday,
say
he
you
was
can
an
get a
all-star,
you can get
but
a
by
Rondo,
default.
you can get a
Yeah.
Kemba.
You know what I mean? You put them three. You put Randall, Anthony Davis, and Zion as your big three. That's
I
not
say
gonna work.
You get a
If you put Anthony, you see what happened with Cousins and Anthony Davis. That shit ain't work,
I mean, this will be a little different.
man. That shit ain't work, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say
I
this will be a
can't
little
see it
different.
happening.
Zion is just much more.
AD want to get out of there, bro.
Definitely
Yeah,
does.
he does.
He's
I don't
gone.
think, I don't think Griffin's gonna let it happen. At least not right now. Maybe at the trade deadline.
Why would you keep
I
a player
think-
that don't want to play?
I
for
think
you,
by
though?
the
Anthony Davis
time.
was
Oh, he's
Washington.
gonna trade him simply because he doesn't want him to walk. He's gonna walk in free agency.
Exactly.
So he's gonna trade him.
Exactly.
But he's gonna do all he can do to try to convince him to stay.
Precisely.
And once it don't happen, I think by the end of by it all said and done, I think they're probably gonna have the first pick. They're probably gonna have the fourth pick, and they're probably gonna have the Bulls pick. I can see them.
Lonzo to-
Like
Yes,
trading
because I
the
can see
straight
Lonzo.
draft.
Yes, I can see Lonzo. Yeah, I think the Chicago, we want a point guard, and us getting seventh, we wanted Ja Morant, but us
Would've
getting
been
he
great.
gonna go on. He going to the Grizzlies. So Lonzo is they don't. I guess
He
it's
going
not
number 2.
cool. Ja Morant, yeah, they already said it. It's over.
Word.
He going to Memphis.
And now you got Mike Conley in a
Mike
I mean,
Conley. Oh,
he-
Mike Conley,
say
he out
can't
there,
end up in
or he might end up
Pelicans.
Chicago. And who knows? Or him in the Pelicans.
RJ Barrett's
still
still
hope.
good.
RJ going to New York.
Yeah, that'd be a great move for New York.
Yeah, he going to
really
New
do
York.
think so. I really do think that'd be a great move for New York.
Who's to say that Zion is gonna even come into this draft?
He is. He already said it.
That's a great statement.
He said he not going back to
Now,
school.
can you-
We're gonna say no.
Can you
I'm not
talk
gonna
about
elaborate.
now.
I'm
Let's
not
say he
elaborating.
does go back to school.
I don't
let's
want to
say-
elaborate. on
All
that.
right, all right. That's a good statement, but I think he's definitely going to the draft. I
Nah,
don't
we'll
think
say that
that's-
for later, man.
I don't think that's gonna. I think he's definitely going to the Smoothie King Arena. But what I really did want to talk about is these big markets. You touched on it a little bit, Brittany. Chicago, the moves that they need to make.
Yeah.
Do you think those moves will make them relevant this year?
I think we got some good players. We got a lot of good young players. We got Wendell Carter, Laurie Marketing. Chris Dunn probably gonna be gone after this year. We got Otto Porter, which I like Otto Porter Jr. I didn't know I liked him as much as I did till I actually sat
be
there and
hooping.
watched him. Yeah, he can. Yeah, I like him. So we got a lot of good
You
young
didn't say he had a
pieces.
big star player though.
We don't have any stars.
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine. Oh yeah, Zach LaVine. My
You
bad. Zach.
bugging.
He's not a star though. I don't
Yes,
think.
he is.
Not yet.
Emerging.
Not yet.
He's an
Emerging.
emerging
He's
star.
an emerging star.
He's better
but I
than
really like.
Andrew Wiggins.
Oh yeah, but I love Zach LaVine. I love Zach LaVine.
That's a bold statement.
And I
He's
think
better
him,
than
I think
Andrew
him
Wiggins.
and him and Lonzo Ball. I personally love Lonzo Ball. Like I know he can't shoot free throws,
I
but
got
he's a
that right.
defender.
Great defense.
He's a great defender, and
He can
he's
work
taller.
on the
He's
shot.
bigger than Chris. He's bigger than Chris Dunn. He's probably a better passer than Chris Dunn. He's a great passer, great playmaker.
LA just hired Jason Kidd, who's familiar working out with
Exactly.
Lonzo.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
if you ask
true.
me, going
That's
to
true.
LA, what I think the Lakers need to do is, and I'd be very surprised if they do keep that 4th overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
I would be surprised, but in the event that they do keep it, don't be surprised if they get one of these young guys like a DeAndre Hunter who can go right into the ring, like a Darius.
Yeah, that's what I
Dillard,
say. Darius, I
who's
like Darius.
Played great next to
Mhm.
Lonzo because Lonzo's going to be a very experienced guard going into his 3rd season with Jason Kidd. I think that Lonzo really going to take a step up. So I think if they do keep the pick, Lonzo, LeBron, and whatever person wants to emerge, Kuzma or get a free agent, they can really build a big three and then let AD come next year. No need to give up anybody.
I think that fourth,
Listen, man.
Kuz and somebody
I'ma
else
keep
going
it
to
real
the
with
What
you.
we
Pelicans.
all want to know
With the big
is
market
what is the
teams,
Knicks
this
about to do,
this
man?
what the Shy needs to do. Shy needs to, like you said, Britt, make a big trade for Mike
Yeah.
Conley, Lonzo Ball.
Derrick Rose,
Make
the
a
free
big
agent.
trade.
Bring my boy home.
Make a big trade.
Bring my
Make
boy
a big
home.
trade. That's
Derrick
all they
Rose.
need. They one
Yeah.
trade away.
He had a
One
great
trade
season.
away from being back because it's the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
one
yeah.
trade away from being back in the AFC.
Maybe try to go get Kimba.
New York.
Woo.
New York need to just simply rely on free agency. They keep their third pick. They can
Yeah.
get RJ Barrett and sign KD, Kyrie.
That'd
You
be a
golden.
move.
It's a
That'd be
lot.
Gucci.
That'd be a move.
Kyrie, KD,
That'd
be a
Kawhi,
move.
Kimba,
LA?
Jimmy.
LA, I ain't gonna hold you, man. LA, it's time.
They got to
It's
get
time
AD.
to go all in.
Mhm.
It's time to go all in. How many years LeBron got left? How many years he signed? 4 or 3?
He got
Three
two more.
with a
He
player
got
option.
he got 2 more years left. 2 more years left to get a ring in LA. That's the highest standard I hold LeBron to. So they got to
I don't know
do
if he's holding himself to
everything
that standard.
they have to do. He has to get a ring. It's
Yeah.
LeBron James. It's in the next
And
2
it's
years.
and
If
it's
you're not
LA.
trying to build around LeBron James, you might as well just hang it up. You traded for LeBron for nothing. You might as well trade LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron. We got him in free agency. But you're right. I do agree. We
I said
definitely-
build around LeBron. You didn't get LeBron for no reason.
Yeah, we ain't get him for no reason. So you think the Lakers just need to make a move and going into this
Trade up in the draft. I say
trade up?
trade up.
And who'd you get?
I would trade. You got a lot of key guys. You got
Kuz,
Kuz. You got
but-
everybody but LeBron
I'm saying trade up to what pick?
to get that number one. Do anything you could do to get number one, number two.
So you wouldn't trade nobody for Anthony Davis. You're trading for the number 1 pick.
I'm trading.
So you trying
I'm
to get
trading
Zion?
Anthony Davis. I'm trading everything.
You're trying to
David
get
Griffin
Zion.
to be a damn fool.
I think
Knowing
I
AD
think-
gonna walk next season, you
I
trade
think-
Zion to the Lakers and AD walk to the Lakers and they end up with nothing.
Who's
I
to
can
say-
see them trading AD to the Lakers for that 4th pick.
AD to the Lakers, I can
Yeah,
see that.
AD to the Lakers.
That's what I'm saying.
can
Trade
see
up,
that.
trade whatever. That's trading up. If you get AD, you come up.
But let's get real deep into this draft, yo. Let's get real deep into this draft. Some sleepers. What's some good sleepers that y'all wanna point out in the draft? You know what I mean? It's real top heavy, but it's a lot of great pieces in the later rounds of the draft, even in the last 15 picks of the draft. Okay, who you got?
I got, man, RJ Barrett is a sleeper. Even though he's a top 3 pick, he's still a sleeper because
Former number 1.
Yeah,
top
he
ranked-
was
with
a
the
top
Knicks getting
ranked
number
out of,
3,
high
with the
school.
Knicks getting number 3, they saying, "Oh, we don't want RJ. He's another Wade. He's a ball hog."
I
Basically,
think
what they're saying.
I think they know that he's a great player. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
nobody's
I
sleeping
feel like he's still a sleeper because this Ja Morant kid dunked on somebody. He came out of nowhere. All before that, it was RJ Zion.
Yeah.
RJ Zion, number 1 and number 2 pick. Ja Morant came, showed
He's a
showed
point
what he
guard.
could do. Point
Point
guard,
guard.
speaking up. Everybody sleeping on RJ, but I feel like RJ is the most complete player, NBA ready player right now.
I mean, in my opinion, I'm gonna go with the 7'2", 235 African, my boy
7'7" with
Bo.
sneakers on.
Mhm.
with sneakers on. So I'm gonna tell you a little about Bo. He only played 9 games, very very small sample size. However, in those 9 games, when you're shooting over 50% from 3, 50% from the field, averaging 3 blocks, 21 points, and 10 rebounds, and your dad was Manute Ball, and he's looking at as a 15 pick.
Yeah.
Man, y'all be crazy. I was hoping LA would drop the 10 so we can get him.
Sound
granted,
like a
his
Tyson
his
Chandler
injury-
to me.
Tyson Chandler, more like Kristaps Porzingis. I said 50% from 3, dog. Tyson Chandler.
Okay.
But now I will say,
shoot a
whatever
three.
team he go to, and it's gonna be real picky and situational. He ain't gonna play that hard for every team. However, you get him on LA, you get him somewhere, LA trade down, you get a bowl to space to floor it, it's gonna be a problem. Billy B, who you
I
got
am
sleeping?
going with UNC's Kobe White. That's my boy.
Kobe White.
I
Nice.
like Kobe
Nice.
White. I think he nice. I think the Bulls should look at him.
He nice
him.
with all that hair,
Yeah,
right?
all that hair. He nice. I like him.
He a shooter, right?
Yeah.
He
Oh,
he not
dope.
he not elite
I think he's
though.
I mean, you can't tell. You don't know who's gonna be elite. I think he's gonna be solid for whoever he plays for. Everybody's not gonna
Good
be a
role
star.
player.
Everybody's
Good
not
role
gonna
player.
Everybody's not gonna be a star. Everybody's not gonna be a superstar. Everybody ain't gonna be, the number 1 draft pick. But you have your sleepers and you have those guys. Nobody thought Steph Curry. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody thought, but a lot of people didn't think Steph Curry was gonna be Steph Curry, and a lot of people didn't think Dame Lillard was gonna be Dame Lillard. Like,
All of those guys.
Yeah.
low
Yeah,
teens.
no, no, you got to do Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was drafted 14th, like right at
And
the end of
traded.
it,
And
traded.
traded.
It.
Drafted
Well,
to the
that
Pacers.
he was
When you
traded
had
because
guys like
Pop
Waiters,
knew
when you had
Pop.
guys like Deion Waiters drafted number 3.
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony
#1.
Bennett,
Right.
number 1. Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
But before we
That
go
was
into our
terrible.
next
He not
commercial
even
break
in the
on
league
the
no
main
more.
radio, Brittany B, you got some tea for us?
Yeah, I do. I got a little bit of
If you
tea.
got some tea,
We're
got
gonna talk
three-
about.
We got 1 minute.
All right, we're gonna talk about
Better
Josh.
drink up.
We're gonna talk about Josh Jackson. He was arrested at the Phoenix Suns. He plays for Phoenix Suns. He was arrested at Rolling Loud for trying to sneak into VIP multiple times. Multiple times. He was arrested. I think he had $1,000 bond. Probably
Got a
didn't get it.
felony.
No, it was a misdemeanor. It was a
They didn't drop
misdemeanor.
it down to a misdemeanor.
Yeah, it's a misdemeanor. They probably gonna do more. Probably didn't know he was a basketball player. If they knew he was a basketball player, they probably would have went a little different. But it was a lot of drama at the Rolling Loud. A lot of drama.
Miami did that too.
Yeah.
That heat. Black people don't know how to act.
Yeah,
But check it out, y'all. We'll be right back on The Word Radio. We'll be right back. And we back for the final segment of Zeal Talk. And we want to shed a light on this Saturday, UFC Rochester. Finally, UFC coming to the town.
Mhm.
Tickets are on Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
The event's going to be from 5 until. You're going to check out Rochester's own Desmond Green, who's right now 22-8. So right now there's a chance you don't want to miss.
22-7. Don't forget.
Oh, they're going to change it until it's
22-7.
changed. Until it's
23-7.
changed.
I don't know if it counts as a foul. They probably don't count as a win.
Word.
But either way, 6 knockouts. So he's a great striker.
Shout out to my boy Dez, man. He gonna get
Showed
that
us a lot of
knockout.
love. Showed the whole city love. So man,
Yeah.
we gotta support our boy. Gotta support our own. We're gonna go right into it. And I'm on Microsoft Word right now. And I really did bold this. For what? For Cater's bold statement.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get right into it, man. I'm gonna go to the NBA draft with this bold statement, with this, man. So as I sat there with my boy Jay, we watched the Chicago get 7th selection in the
He was
NBA
hurt.
draft lottery.
hurt.
Sorry, Britt.
I threw my
I was
phone. I
rooting
threw
for
my
you.
phone at the TV.
I was
Yo,
rooting
I
for
was
you.
so mad.
Yeah, I went to Chicago.
So as they got the 7th pick, though, I said to myself, I'm like, damn, it's a chance LA or New York might get that number 1 pick.
Who's watching it?
You know what I mean? Then Phoenix got number 6 right after that.
Like-
Then it went into a commercial break. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
they might
got a
really get
chance.
it. Yeah. So then I'm like, when they came back from commercial break, I'm like, yeah, they might get, you know what I mean? They might get the number 1 pick. And New York or LA, they were still on the board. So then I'm like, Zion and LeBron? I'm like, oh my God, that should be crazy.
Or Zion and KD.
But then I was thinking, like, man, the league rigged. They not about to let that happen. So as soon as I said that, I seen LA get the get the 4th pick. Then New York got the 3rd.
So now it's funny how they were celebrating when LA got the 4th pick, and then they
was
said they got the
happy.
3rd pick. They was in.
Yo, when I seen that, when I seen New York get the 3rd pick, and I seen the Pelicans get the 1st pick, and I seen the look on Zion Williamson's face.
He was
He
mortified.
didn't smile. He didn't crack a smile or no.
He was upset.
He looked like he lost his puppy.
I wanted to play in that big market, man.
I'm
He
like
did.
shaking my
Had
head.
3
bro.
opportunities.
I'm like shaking my head. So with that being said, my boldest statement is
Uh-oh.
Zion, the Zion Williamson, who hasn't signed a agent yet or a shoe deal,
Woo.
will return back to Duke
Oh,
for a second season, just not to play for the Pelicans. If I'm Zion, that's what I'm doing. I don't want to play for the fucking Pelicans.
That's a bold
Wow.
or
statement.
I'm gonna make them trade me.
That's a bold statement, but his stepdad did already come out and say that Zion's not going to do that. Zion's not going to
He
leave
ain't about to
millions
turn
of
down
dollars.
You
$40
said his
million
on the table.
stepdad. His stepdad. He can get more millions anytime. He can go. He can do all 4 years.
I wouldn't risk
and,
it.
and fucking
I
come
would-
into
I
the
would- I would-
NBA
I wouldn't
draft and
even
still
risk
get
it.
millions.
I wouldn't
bruh.
even risk it.
The money ain't
He
it.
blew that shoe, missed out on what, 6-7 games?
3.
No, it was more than that. It's
3
about
or
a week.
4
It's
games.
at least a week. Then, not to mention, going into this season, come on, bro.
Zion need to
Isaiah Stewart.
I'm Zion Williamson. I'm
Anthony
the next
Cole.
biggest thing to
It's
LeBron
a lot
James.
more competition in this draft. I
Listen,
just wouldn't
though.
do it.
I'm Zion Williamson. I'm the next biggest thing to LeBron James. I don't want to go to Pelicans.
That's true.
I'm
but
choosing my own journey.
Isaiah Stewart, Anthony Cole, this draft right here, Zion, he'll still be a top pick, but it ain't going to be as – it's a lot of top heavy talent in this one.
So what?
I'm
So
just
what?
saying,
If
I
I'm
would
Zion, I'm going
get that
back to
number 1
Duke.
money.
No.
Don't worry about injury. And in 3-4 years,
And then
go play
AD
for
won
who you
out
want
at the
to.
same
Nah,
time.
it's gonna be
AD
more
won
like
out
5,
too.
6 years.
Nah, I don't
Team
want to
option,
play.
player option.
It's gonna be like 5, 6 years.
I don't want to. I
It's
want to
gonna be
go
a
to that
restricted
to one of them
free
big
agent
market
I
cities
wish
where
you did.
you know what I mean.
He
I
going
really
to the
did.
NBA. Listen, every kid's dream is to play in the NBA. He better be happy he got drafted. Okay,
He gonna get drafted
he will
regardless.
be fine. And
Even if he do all
he
4
will be
years in
fine.
college.
He's young. He'll probably play 5, 6 years. Then he can
Especially
walk
you
and
get
go
him
wherever
next
he
to
wants.
you get him next to Kuzma, you get him next to Lonzo if it happens like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get him next to these guys, Brandon Ingram, and who's to say
You
RJ
never
don't
know.
fall?
He might be-
in the
Man.
Lakers pick right
He might
there.
be that
He might
Anthony
be
Davis.
playing
He
with
might do
RJ.
what Anthony Davis couldn't
He
do.
need to
never
return
know.
back to Duke, man. He don't want to play for the Pelicans. You see it all in his face. He didn't crack a smile.
I can't say it.
He didn't
But-
crack a
but
smile.
we got one
Before
more
that,
shit.
hold on.
That was-
Before that, he was all smiling, happy. Yes, the
was.
drive.
He
Terrible
was.
suit.
Soon as the Pelicans got the first pick, he like,
It was over. It was over. But you know what? We got a lot more to talk about next week on Zeal Talk. We thank y'all for tuning in. Brittany B, last statements.
Yeah, my boy Dame, he going for 50 tonight.
King Cater.
The Eagles winning the championship.
Woo! Another bold statement, and we just appreciate y'all for checking in. We'll see y'all next week.